experience for civil services. I teach international relations and internal security along with the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this session will definitely help you to crack prelims and mains examinations because I would be emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases from the entire newspaper which I would be covering in this session. So the emphasis on the keywords and the key phrases will make you understand the importance of identifying the factual, analytical, and conceptual questions which will be useful for you in regards to the prelims point of view. So, definitely the factual, analytical, and conceptual questions will identify in the newspaper and which will be useful by for the prelims examinations as well as for the prelims and for the mains examinations. I would be making you understand the importance of imbibing the keywords and the key phrases in the mains examination, that is in regards to the answer writing. So definitely the answer writing, it will be very very important. The tip in the answer writing is imbibing the keywords and the key phrases in your answer writing, that is in the mains examination, so that your answers are precise and concise. And once your answers are precise and concise, so thereby you will have the ability to score more marks in the mains examinations, and that is what is being demanded by the UPSC or state public service commissions in regards to your answer writing in the mains examination. So thereby you will be scoring high marks in the mains examinations as well. So my session will definitely help you in regards to cracking the prelims and mains both for 2020 as well as 2021. And this session is in regards to the daily news analysis, that is 20 today's, I mean it will be today's, and I would be re-emphasizing on my tagline, that is the emphasis on the keywords and the key phrases which will be very very useful for the prelims as well as mains examinations. And before I get into the topic, I would say very good morning to everyone. And quote of the day is, you were born to win. You were born to win, but to be a winner, you must plan to win, you must prepare to win, you must expect to win. So this is a quote of the day which I liked it, and I felt it is very appropriate for everyone who is actually having a goal or want to have a success or want to be a winner. For them, you were born to win, but to be a winner, you must plan to win, you must prepare to win, and you must expect also that you would be winning. So, definitely, this is a quote of the day which will really motivate you and rejuvenate you in regards to your goal, that is cracking the exam. It could be UPSC or else in regards to the State Public Service Commission. And I would say very good morning to Chendu, P. Ramesh, Nandita Tepa, Praveen Kumar, Rahul, Azmat Khan, Kavyashri, Madhu, Harika, Masterminds, David Wall. Very good morning to you all. And now I'll get into the topic, that is, which is almost, this is the third day wherein we are having this news in regards to the Rajasthan, the entire issue which is happening in the Rajasthan. We have this today also in the newspaper, and we have seen yesterday that the Rajasthan Speaker's office have approached the Supreme Court in regards to the High Court order which has been given by the High Court, Rajasthan High Court, to make sure that the Speaker is not taking any action on the 19 MLAs. So the Rajasthan High Court order was challenged by the Rajasthan Speaker's office in the Supreme Court. And what did the Supreme Court say? The Supreme Court has said, or it has refused. The Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court has refused Rajasthan Assembly Speaker CP Joshi's plea to stop. So as we have discussed yesterday also, that the Speaker of Rajasthan CP Joshi have filed a petition in the Supreme Court to stop the High Court High Court order in regards to the validity of the anti-defection notice, because it was a speaker who have issued the notice of disqualification to Sachin Poilat and 18 Congress MLAs, dissident Congress MLAs. So that was actually been challenged. The High Court order, Rajasthan High Court order, was challenged in the Supreme Court by the Rajasthan Assembly Speaker CP Joshi, but it was refused by the Supreme Court. By the Supreme Court. Why? We will look at it. We have seen that the High Court order, which was said that until, that is today, 24th July 24th, up to July 24th, the Speaker of the House should not take any decision. The Speaker of the House should not take any decision on the 19 MLAs. And in fact, the Speaker of the House, that is the Rajasthan Speaker, has also made it very clear that the High Court order is against, or it has crossed the Lakshmana Rekha. It has crossed the Lakshmana Rekha, and the High Court is interfering in the disqualification procedure which has been initiated by the speaker, and it is the discretionary power of the speaker. Please do understand here, the Rajasthan speaker has said that the High Court order has crossed the Lakshmana Rekha, and it has interfered, into the disqualification, the procedure, disqualification procedure which is initiated by the Speaker of the House, House. So this was what the allegations put forth by the Speaker, and then later on it was appealed in the Supreme Court, but Supreme Court has refused the Rajasthan Assembly Speaker CP Joshi's plea to stop the High Court order in deciding the validity of the anti-defection of the 19 dissident MLAs, Congress MLAs. And David Paul has joined. Very good morning, Shivamurthy, Bhaskara Teja, Sai Mahesh, Srujan Kasturi. Very good morning to you all. And the top court scheduled a hearing on Monday. So the Supreme Court has refused the plea of the Speaker to stop the High Court order, to stop the implementation of the High Court. But in fact, the top court, that is the Supreme Court of India, has scheduled that the Speaker, whatever he has filed, that would be held, or it would be looked at for the hearing, or it would come up for the hearing only on Monday, that is July 27, and it is a 3-judge bench. This is also a key word, because you have different 1-judge bench, 2-judge bench, 3-judge bench, 5-judge bench, 7-judge bench, 9-judge, and then 11. We have seen. So this bench, I mean the number of judges who are on the bench depends upon the complexity or the importance or the complexity of the issue, and now here the bench is 3-judge bench. And what did the 3-judge bench, which is led by Justice Arun Mishra, what did he say? The keyword here again is very important, that the Supreme Court has said that we will look at this issue as a larger question. Please do understand, this is very important. The bench or the Supreme Court said that we will look at this issue, that is the plea, the petition plea by the Rajasthan Speaker, that to stop the Rajasthan's High Court order, to stop the, or to put a stay, or to stop the Rajasthan's High Court order is a larger question. That is what the Supreme Court has said. Supreme Court said it is not just stopping the order of the High Court, but we are looking at it as a larger question. What is a larger question? The larger question is that of voice of dissent. This is very, very important for the prelims point of view and also mains point of view. So voice of dissent. What is voice of dissent? Dissent means which you are not liking. You are raising a voice which are against, which you are not liking it. Dissent is you don't like it and you are raising your voice. You are raising your voice. So here 19 MLAs have raised their voice of dissent against the government, that is against the Chief Minister, that is Ashok Gehlot. So what the Supreme Court is saying is, we are looking at it not just as a notice, disqualification noted. No, we are looking at it as a larger question. What is a larger question? That whether the voice of dissent by the MLAs can be shut down. That means whether the 19 MLAs have raised the concern and they are raising the voice against the Chief Minister or the Ashok Gahlot or else the government itself, whether that raising of the voice by the 19 MLAs can be shut down or it can be curtailed or it can be make sure that it is not actually been raised. So voice of dissent can be shut down with the threat of disqualification. That is what this the three judge bench says, that we are looking at it as a larger question. Now, now what comes into action or picture is that the discretionary power, of speaker, whether the discretionary power of speaker is at stake or whether there are reforms, whether there is a possibility that there would be reforms being made to the discretionary power of the speaker. Please do understand, because we know that in the paragraph 2 or else in the 10th schedule in the anti-defection law, we very clearly know what is the procedure which is being laid in the paragraph 2 of the 10th schedule, that is the anti-defection law of the Indian Constitution. Very clearly talks about the procedure which can be initiated by the speaker, and that disqualification is a discretionary power of the speaker. But the three judgment, that is the Supreme Court, is saying that we are looking at it as a larger question. What is the question here? What is the keyword here? The voice of dissent. Dissent in the sense which you do not like and you are raising the voice. So the 19 MLAs have raised the voice against the Chief Minister or the Ashok Gahlot, and when they have raised the voice, against the Chief Minister, is the speaker using the discretionary powers against the 19 MLAs to shut down or to make sure that they are not raising the voice or the voice is not heard in the house itself. Please do understand, this is very very important for the mains examination. Please do understand the power of the speaker and the intervention of the High Court and now the Supreme Court. Please do understand, right from the first day I am saying what are two important keywords for the mains point of view is the discretionary power of the speaker and the intervention of the High Court. First is the Rajasthan High Court in this case, and now the Supreme Court now it's saying we are looking at the larger question, voice of dissent, whether it has been shut down by the threat of disqualification. But if you look at the other side of it, the expressing the dissent amount to voluntarily giving up the party membership under paragraph 2(1) of the 10th schedule is the question mark. But if you look at, see, this is what is important, voluntarily. When I'm saying voluntarily, Harika, I have in fact I've spoken about the 10th schedule and also the anti-defection law last 2 days back, but still I'll also put forth now. See, the expressing the dissent, that is you're saying what you wanted to say, that you are not happy with the Chief Ministers, the way of the functioning or else the government. In that case, the MLAs are being threatened by the speaker by issuing the disqualification notice. That is what the Supreme Court is looking at the picture as a larger question, and what it is saying is can expressing the dissent amount to voluntary giving up the party membership. Please do understand, see, expressing the dissent, is it equal to voluntarily giving up the party membership? This is very important, and I have explained this on Tuesday or Wednesday. I have explained this. I will say you again here. See, this is okay, anti-defection law. I have said 1985 it has started, 10th schedule by the 52nd Amendment Act. I have said this, and the process has been initiated by the presiding officer, that is the speaker. And I said the legislator is deemed to be defected either voluntarily, I have said this, voluntarily, or he disobeys or he defies in the sense voting against. So there are three kinds. wherein he can be defected. That is either voluntarily giving up the membership, or whenever he disobeys, or whenever he is defying, that defying in the sense voting against. So what is the Supreme Court now looking? So this is an additional information which I have been telling you since almost 3 days. This is the third day. So what I have discussed, that the legislator is deemed to be defected either voluntarily. I've used this, see, voluntary, disobeys or defying. And now what the Supreme Court has looked at is this one only. Can expressing dissent amount to voluntarily giving up the party membership under paragraph 2(1) of A of the 10th schedule. So now the larger question is, expressing dissent, does it equal to voluntarily giving up the party membership? Voluntarily giving up the party membership. This is the very important question, larger question, which the Supreme Court is now looking into it. So we are not really worried about what is happening political. We are worried about the now today's news is in regards to the Supreme Court decision on the larger question. So this is very important. Please do understand this, very important. Voice of dissent, expressing dissent, is it amounting to voluntarily giving up the party membership? And this point, either voluntarily, the various methods, voluntarily, disobeys and defying, I have said it on Wednesday itself. So look at it, how important it is that we need to understand the or analyze the issue at a different level, so that it will be very useful for prelims point of view. And Sohel has joined. Very good morning to you, Sohel. Raveli has joined. Suresh Raman has joined. Gopi Nayak has joined. Very good morning to all. And then the next news is women officers can now get into permanent commission. So you have something, the keywords what we need to actually look at here is the staff selection commission and permanent commission. So one is permanent commission and the other one is staff selection commission. Right? So what the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Defense has done is, it has given a formal government sanction letter. So government sanction letter is been granted, to the women officers, please do understand here, it is granted to the women officers, wherein the women officers who complete their staff selection commission, which is of 14 years, 10 plus 4 years, 14 years. After completing their 14 years, now the Ministry of Defense have come up with the government sanction letters of granting the women officers who have completed the SSC for 14 years. Now they will be eligible for the permanent commission. Where? In the army or Indian army. In the Indian army. And this grant of permanent commission to SSC, that is staff selection, short service commission. This is short service commission. So what is this short service commission? It is 14 years. If I have said staff, I am extremely sorry. It is short service commission. So this short service commission is for 14 years. Once they complete it, now the Ministry of Defense have given a formal government sanction letter. Once the women officers have completed this 14 years of short service commission, they will be granted the permanent commission, and this will be for 10 streams. For the 10 streams, what are the streams? That is Army Air Defense, Signals, Engineers, Army Aviation, Electronics and Mechanical Engineer, Army Service Corps, Army Ordnance Corps, and Intelligence Corps. And in addition, the ninth one is the Judges and Advocate General and Army Educational Corps. So entire 10 streams now, whoever have completed, that is whoever in the sense women officers who have completed the short service commission of 14 years will be granted for the next service, that is the permanent commission service. Permanent commission service will be granted. Earlier it wasn't there. It was now only the Ministry of Defense have come up with the government sanction letter of SSC to PC service for 10 streams in the Indian Army. And this order by the Ministry of Defense, this order by the Ministry of Defense is actually been granted because there was a Supreme Court verdict in the month of February that the Supreme Court has directed the government, that is the central government, so that the women officers be granted the permanent commission and commanding postings. The permanent commission and commanding postings in all services. This is very, very important. In all services other than combat. Again, this, see, the Supreme Court has said is that the one who have completed, women officers who have completed the short service commission of 14 years can be granted the permanent commission in all services other than combat in the sense anywhere in the warlike situation. Wherever it is warlike situation, there it is not possible. That is what the Supreme Court has said. So this is again very important for prelims point of view. The Supreme Court in the month of February, has made it very clear that the women officers will be granted PC once they have completed SSC in all the commanding postings in all the services other than combat in the sense warlike situation. So the keywords are very important for the prelims point of view. Soil Arfat has joined, Venkatramana Kavali has joined, Ratnavali Jay has joined. Very good morning to you all. And this is again, this entire slide is an additional information which I am giving. Actually, this is the information which is in the newspaper in the month of March or March 17th. It was in the news, and that I have brought it because it will be useful for you. You will have a better understanding about it. So now it is army. That is women officers in army who have completed their short service commission will be given permission or will be granted to be part of the permanent commission. This is in army. Now today's news, fine. So earlier what has happened is the Supreme Court on March 17 has upheld in the sense supported that the one who have completed the short service commission of the women officers will be granted the same as PC, permanent commission. But that is in regards to the Navy. Earlier it was Navy, now today it is Army. That is why I am giving you this information. So in the month of March it was Navy. Now in the month of July it is Army. So first Navy and now followed by Army. That is the women officers in the Navy who have completed their SSC were granted PC in the month of March, and now in the month of July the women officers who have completed the SSC were granted PC now in the Indian Army. And what did the Supreme Court say in the month of February? In the month of February, the Supreme Court has said that all the services, that is the three services, should be granted. The women officers who have completed their SSC can be granted PC in all the services except in the combat. And then in the March 17, the justice, that is D.Y. Chandrachud and Ajay Rastogi, has said the battle for gender equality is about confronting the battles of the mind. So this is very important. So what did the statement given by the justices D.Y. Chandrachud and Ajay Rastogi in March 17 in the Supreme Court verdict on March 17 is that it is a battle for gender equality. Please do understand this keyword, which is very, very important for mains point of view. This entire from SSC to PC for the Navy and now the Army is totally dependent, or the question is only for mains examination, that is gender equality. That is in the GS paper 2. Women empowerment. In regards to the women empowerment, this is very, very important. And what did it say? It is the battle of gender equality is about confronting the battles of mind. Mind is talking about, that is women and men. The mentality is talking about. So he's saying armed forces specious in the sense baseless reasons which have been given by the decision makers and administrators that the women cannot be fit in the various sections in the permanent commission after serving for 14 years, and the court has said that it is about physiology, motherhood and physical attributes to the male dominated hierarchies. That is what the Supreme Court has made the judgment on March 17, and it has supported that the one women officers completed who have completed SSC should be granted PC, and it is generally about gender equality. This is very important for the mains point of view. GS paper 2, women empowerment. And we will look at this is again additional information which is not in the newspaper, because because the Ministry of Defense has actually given the government sanction letter making sure that women officers who have completed the short service commission of 14 years can be granted PC, that is permanent commission, in army. So we will look at this additional information because today's news is in regards to the women officers being granted of PC from who have completed SSC in army. So we will look at this, which is important for again prelims point of view. So the induction of women officers, induction, that is starting of the women officers in army, started in 1992. This is very important for prelims point of view. And initially they were commissioned, they were inducted for 5 years in army educational corps, in corps of signals, in intelligence corps and corps of engineers. So they were included or commissioned in 1992 for 5 years in the four streams, in the four chosen streams, and they were recruited under what? Under Women Special Entry Scheme. This is again very important for prelims, and an important paragraph or a line, short note for the mains examination also. So the recruitment of the women in army was recruited under Women Special Entry Scheme, Women Special Entry Scheme, and again in 2006, this Women Special Entry Scheme was replaced by SSC. Please do understand why we are talking about quiz, because today we are talking about the one women officers who have completed the short service commission of 14 years will be granted the permanent commission service. Fine. But before knowing that SSC, we need to understand what was that before SSC, that is short service commission. That is what was there, was present, was Women Special Entry Scheme, WSES. This is very important for prelims point of view. And this in the year 2006, it was extended or it was replaced by SSC scheme for the women. And then first it was for 10 years and later on it was extended for 14 years. So this is very important additional information which I am giving for the prelims point of view. 1992 it was inducted the women officers in the army first for 5 years under Women Special Entry Scheme, and later on in the 2006 Women Special Entry Scheme was replaced by short service commission scheme, and later on that period was from 5 years to 10 years it was extended, and 10 years to 14 years. Please do understand all this. These are very important for prelims point of view, and as I am giving this additional information. Fine. And then the other news is that India expects China to work sincerely. So we have been looking at that, the disengagement process and de-escalation process. So what is important keywords here are that you need to focus is the keywords here are disengagement, and de-escalation. What do you mean by disengagement and de-escalation? That is, we have looked at because of the diplomatic engagement level talks, military engagement level talks, and again the special representative level talks. I did discuss all this, fine. Based on all this, the outcome was the disengagement, that is the troops moving away from the places, and de-escalation, that is whatever the tension is prevailing between India and China along the LAC, that escalation which is at a very emotional, that has to be de-escalated. That means emotional feeling between the Indian troops and the Chinese troops had to be reduced, and that can be done by the disengagement, that is moving away of the troops from the LAC, from both the Indian side and the Chinese side. Is that what is happening? And what India is now saying is, today's news is that the Ministry of External Affairs has made a statement saying that the India and China should work sincerely on the disengagement plan. So all these talks, all the level talks, that is diplomatic engagement level talks, military engagement talks, and then special representative level talks are what for? For what? These are all for disengagement plan. Please do understand this engagement plan. So we are all, I mean, both India and China are wanting to have a plan, that is disengagement plan. But it says that they have failed. Who? The People's Liberation Army soldiers, PLA, that is Chinese troops, have failed to withdraw as per the disengagement plan and the disescalation from the, especially from the Pyongyang So Lake, at the fingers, at the ridges of the fingers, that is at the points of the fingers. There are fingers, from fingers you have 1 to 8. I will show you 1 to 8, that is at the Pyongyang So Lake, which were supposed to, what do you say, de-escalation or the de-engagement of the troops from the Chinese side. They have to move it, but it is not happening. Still they have the presence at the, or the ridges of the fingers at or around the Pyongyang So Lake, and that is what the External Affairs spokesperson Anurag Srivastava has made it very clear, that the China side is not really sincerely working to complete the disengagement and de-escalation process, which was actually taken up at the special representative level talks. Yesterday we discussed about unmanned aerial view or the survey drones which are used. Yesterday we did talk about. Today it is in regards to the China is not sincerely being part of the disengagement plan. And what the Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson is saying is, the conduct and the changes, conduct and the behavior of the China is actually not in tandem with the mutual agreement. So as I said, that India and China had the mutual agreement in regards to the China or India China border affairs. India-China border affairs. I said 1993 agreement, 1996 agreement, and then 2005 agreement, 2013 agreement. So these are all the agreements which have been taken up between India and China in regards to the border management or border affairs along the China. So what India is saying is, the conduct and the behavior of China is totally, it is disregard, that it is going against the mutual agreement between India and China in regards to the border affairs or border management affairs. Fine. And India and China's officials are expected to have a meet on regards to what? Working mechanism for consultation and coordination. This is again very important for the keyword for the prelims. This is important keyword. What is the keyword? That both the officials will again have a meet, virtual conference, in regards to the working mechanism for consultation and coordination. For what? To resolve the issue in regards to the border affairs or border management. And this YMCC, that is working mechanism for consultation and coordination. Working mechanism for consultation and coordination will be held normally, annually, or biannual meets. Please look at this. Again, prelims point of view information I am giving. So YMCC is normally held how many times meet? It is annually or biannually. That is maximum twice in a year. The working mechanism for consultation and coordination between both the countries officials will be meeting only twice maximum. It is annually or biannually, which is again important for prelims point of view. And this reaches at these places at the ridges of finger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So from finger 4, from this area, they are not the Chinese troops. The Chinese troops, that is PLA, People's Liberation Army soldiers, PLAS, that is People Liberation Army soldiers, Chinese troops, are not moving away from the finger ridges at the Pyongyang So Lake. So this is Pyongyang So Lake. This is the lake, and the lake which is at the mouth, I mean the mountains at the mouth of the Pyongyang Se Lake, you have the fingers and the ridges. So the ridges here, you are, I mean this at these places they are not moving. That is what the India's Ministry of External Affairs Minister, spokesperson is raising the concern in regards to China is not really serious about the disengagement plan. And here what is important is we are talking about the conduct and behavior of the four agreements. These are very important. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1993, 1996, 2005, 2013, 12, 13. And then a meet will take place in regards to the working mechanism for consultation and coordination between the India and Chinese official to make sure that we resolve the issue in regards to the mutual agreement, that is boundary affairs. And there is another news which talks about Hyderabad city under most intense surveillance. So here what is the keyword is surveillance. Surveillance in the sense like you are watched, you are always watched, you are under watch. That means someone is watching you always. So this is a keyword in this. So Hyderabad is under intense surveillance. Hyderabad is is the most. Please understand here. This is very important for prelims point of view. Current affairs prelims point of view. This is for current affairs prelims point of view. Both for UPSC and State Public Service Commission. Both for them. Why? Because Hyderabad is the most intense surveillance in the country itself. Please do understand, in the country itself. And this data is released by UK-based tech firm. UK-based tech firm. And almost 3 lakh CCTVs. 3 lakh CCTVs are being placed in the public areas. 3 lakh CCTVs in Hyderabad are being placed in the public areas. And this is almost, when we compare the 3 lakh CCTVs which have been placed, the cameras which have been placed in the public areas, is, if we look at, is it is almost per thousand. For every 1,000 persons you have 29.99 cameras. So almost it is 30 cameras, equal to 30 cameras. So for every 1,000 people in Hyderabad, 30 cameras are watching 1,000 people. So that is what is very important. And Hyderabad is ranked in the 16th rank, and Chennai is the 21st, and Delhi is the 33rd in the entire ratio between the cameras, in the ratio between the camera and population, in the population. Fine. But it is the most intense surveillance in the country, because it is the 16th and 21st is the Chennai, and Delhi is the 33rd against the ratio between the cameras and population. And the other one which is very important for UPSC point of view, this UPSC and also State Public Service Commission, why it is important I have taken is, it is only Hyderabad and London which are the only two cities in the democratic countries that have made it to the top 20 list. Top 20 list. So in the top 20 list, Hyderabad is in the 16th, and in the country it is the most intense surveillance. It is the top. It is the top. Lokesh Chandra has joined. Very good morning to you, Lokesh Chandra. I hope you were not there for almost couple of days for my class. I hope everything is fine from you, and welcome back to my daily news analysis, Lokesh Chandra. And if you look at this, this is very important again for prelims UPSC point of view. So Hyderabad and London are the only two cities in the democratic countries. Please do understand, this is a keyword, democratic countries. In the democracy or the democratic country, it is only two cities which are topping the 20 list, and the other 18. So out of 20, you have UK and Hyderabad. That is -2. That is 18. That is UK and Hyderabad. If you remove it, the 18 cities are in China. The 18 cities are in China, and entirely 54% of the CC cameras in the entire world. If you look at in the entire world, the total number of cameras, if you look at, China has 54% of the CCTV cameras, which are, what do you say, if you look at in the entire world, the CCTVs, 54% of the cameras are deployed in China itself. So that is very, very important. Yes, it is related to internal security. Gopinath, very important. Yes, very well said. Because it is surveillance. It is surveillance, it is internal security. But what is important here is, what is also very important here is, we are talking about internal security. So when it is in regards to the vigilance, internal security, because of criminals and because of even terrorists, or you can try to find out the entire movements of the criminals or the terrorists, fine. So it is internal security. But at the other side of it is that freedom of movement. Freedom of movement. Is the freedom of movement compromised? Is the freedom of movement compromised? Compromised. Is the freedom of movement compromised? That is, the citizens' freedom of movement, is it compromised by the intense surveillance? The other side, one side is internal security, the other side is the freedom of movement. Is it compromised? The citizens' freedom of movement, is it compromised by the intense surveillance? That is why I said the democratic countries. It is only the two cities in the democratic countries which are topping the 20 list. That is what is very, very important here. And this data from the entire, you have from the 150 countries, and it has been tabulated, or which has been totally statistically data, it has been compiled, is by Comparitech or Comparitech. You can, I mean, this is the company, and this program, the Hyderabad police has come up with a program called as Nenu Saitam. So the program which is by the Hyderabad police in regards to the intense surveillance is, the program is called as Nenu Saitam. This is very important for prelims in regards to the state public service commissions. It could be AP or Telangana, AP or Telangana. And it was in the year 2017, the Director General of Police, DGP, that is Mahinda Reddy, has announced a plan to deploy 10 lakh CCTV in the three commissionerate office, or three commissionerate areas, three commissionerate area. Why? As I said, to tackle the crime, And what is this place which is called as, wherein you have all these cameras which will be controlled, or which will be totally having the command, that is called as integrated control and command center. This is again very important for prelims point of view for the state public service commissions. Integrated control and command center. It is integrated control and command center. This is the keyword. Please do understand. Please write it in your book. In the three commissionerate, this will be, what do you say, important for the state public service commissions. State public service commissioner. The program is Nenu Saitam, and it is a 23 storied. Actually, the plan was 24, but the airport, that is Rajiv Gandhi Airport Authority, has raised the concern in regards to the 24-story building, and it has actually wanted only 20-story building to be what do you say, taken up by the, for the integrated control and command center, because of the airport, international airport there, because of the flying of the aeroplanes, which would cause a concern for them. So that is why this is in I was in news that they wanted or requested the government to make sure that it is not 24 or 23 story, but to come down to 20-story building, so that for the safety of the flights. So this is the building, the Hyderabad Police Command and Control Center building, which will be, as per the news, it is 23-story building in Banjara Hills. Fine. And there is another news which says that Ranjan Gogoi named for House panel on External Affairs Minister. So we know that Ranjan Gogoi was the former Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi, and then later on he was nominated. Later on he has was nominated as Rajya Sabha member. Rajya Sabha member. And once after being nominated for Rajya Sabha member, just couple of months late, couple of months, in the span of couple of months itself, the former Chief Justice or else the Rajya Sabha member Ranjan Gogoi has been appointed as a member of the Parliamentary Committee on External Affairs. Please look at the kind of elevation which the former Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi is getting, or is actually, what do you say, being in the position. First, immediately after his term was over as the Chief Justice of India, he has been nominated as a Rajya Sabha member, and then now he is being part or the member of the Parliamentary Committee on External Affairs. Please do understand, external affairs, very, very important portfolio. Fine. So Parliamentary Committee, member of the Parliamentary Committee on External Affairs, and then Devagowda on the Committee on Railways. Just we'll look at, this is the latest information. This is the latest information. Jyoti Aditya Scindia, who has, what do you say, recently from Madhya Pradesh, defected from INC, that is Congress Party, into BJP, and Bhuvaneshwar Kalita, they are the members of the Human Resource Development, HRD, and Sharad Pawar, we know, is a senior member, NCP, Nationalist Congress Party. He is the part of the Defense Committee, Parliamentary Committee on Defense. Mallikarjun Kharge, from the Congress, former floor leader, is on the Committee of Commerce, and then former Railway Minister Dinesh Trivedi is the Committee on Home Affairs, and then JMM leader Shibu Soren is on the Committee of Coal and Steel, and these were all finalized by whom? The Rajya Sabha chairman, that is Venkaiah Naidu. All finalized by the Rajya Sabha chairman, that is Venkaiah Naidu. So what is important is, probably I'm just saying, probably you can get it in the match the following. I'm just saying probably, that is the names and the committee, or committee and the names, match the following. Fine, for that I have given. But what is very, very important is this one, about parliamentary committee for prelims point of view, for polity prelims point of view. So you need to understand, see, if you are able to try to make sure that you have the information in your mind, it's okay about this, about what is a different people, then different what is a persons, and the parliamentary committee, member of the parliamentary committee. But what is important is about the parliamentary committee, because you never know, the current contemporary, he might ask the names and the committee, match the following, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, match the following. Fine. There could be a question in regards to the match the following in prelims for polity point of view, but there could be a question in regards to the on the parliamentary committee itself. Again, this is the earlier one which I said is contemporary, this is conventional topic. This is conventional topic. What I said earlier, that is in regards to the people, name of the person, and the committee, that is current, contemporary. But we look at conventional, that is what is in the book, polity. So the parliament meets session a year, that is budget session you have, monsoon session you have, winter session you have. And what does this, what is a parliament has another forum, that is wherein this forum actually does lot of work, and this, the forum or the group which does lot of work, wherein the parliament is actually meeting the sessions, or they are meeting for the 3 sessions. When they are meeting the sessions, the background there is lot of work which is done, and this work is being done by the parliamentary committees, and the entire work which will actually provide a very good platform for the 3 sessions, the parliament sessions, to be taken up during the budget, monsoon and winter sessions. The entire work, the background work, will be taken up by the parliamentary committees, this is very important. And the appointment, the term of office, the functions and the procedure. Please do understand, the appointment, term of office, functions, appointment, term of office, the functions and the procedures of conducting the business of entire parliamentary committees in both the houses are under Article 118 of 1 of the Indian Constitution, and this is important for prelims point of view. This is very important for prelims point of view. Under which article the parliamentary committees the parliamentary committees, their appointment, term of office, the member of the parliamentary committees, their appointment, term of office, functions and procedures are laid down in both the houses is as per Article 118. This is very, very important. Please do understand. Why Raghu has joined. Very good morning to you, Raghu. Welcome to daily news analysis of AKS IAS Academy. And this is as per Article 118 of 1. And there are two kinds of parliamentary committees. One is standing committee and the other one is ad hoc committee. So what do you mean by standing committee? Standing committee is appointed every year or periodically. This is very important for prelims point of view. Standing committee is appointed every year or periodically, but ad hoc committee that is ad hoc committee is appointed only when there is a need, and when the need is over, it ceases in the sense it stops. Fine. So there are two kinds: standing committee. There are two kinds of parliamentary committees, that is standing committee and ad hoc committee, and this is what is appointed every year, yearly or periodically. It is not only yearly, it is periodically also. Periodically it could be 2 or 3 years also. And then ad hoc committee is only whenever there is need, and once the need is over, it ceases. That is, it can be closed. And if you look at the committee on the public accounts and public undertakings, that is the committee on public accounts and public undertakings, will be the members, while the members are associated only from the Rajya Sabha. Only from the Rajya Sabha, the members will be associated for the committee on public accounts and public undertaking. These are all very, very important. All the points here are very, very important for prelims point of view. So from Rajya Sabha, that is the committee on public accounts and public undertakings, will be from the Rajya Sabha, and for the committee on estimates will be from the Lok Sabha. To the committee on estimates will be drawn entirely from the Lok Sabha. And we have seen that the rules committee of the Lok Sabha has recommended the setting up of 17 departmental related standing committee. This is very important for prelims. DRSC. The Rules Committee of Lok Sabha has recommended the setting up of 17 departmental related standing committees, and once they have recommended, later on that recommendations were accepted, and then the 17 departmental related standing committees were set up on 8th April 1993. Again, this is very important for prelims. All the points are very important for prelims. Please do understand. All the points are very important. And DRSC were recommended by the Rules Committee of the Lok Sabha, and it was set up on 8th April 1993. How many? 17. And from 17 to 24 it was increased. What was increased? The departmental related standing committees on July 2004. So 17 plus 7 were added. First 17 when? In the year 1993. And then when it comes to what you said 24 in the year 2004, that is 17 plus 7 were added. First 17 and then later on 7 were added. So these are very important for prelims point of view. And I'm saying it, this I have taken, this is an additional information. I'm saying it, this is additional information which is not in the newspaper. Only in the newspaper is the one who have been appointed by as the member of various parliamentary standing committees and which are finalized by the Rajya Sabha chairman, that is Venkaiah Naidu. That is only the today's news, but this is additional information which is very important for the prelims point of view, and I'm saying all the points are very important. And then US Mambi, US MANBI, US Mambi has joined. Very good morning to you. And there is another news which talks about China launches ambitious Mars mission. So China has gone ahead with a Mars mission. Please do understand here. China has gone ahead with a Mars mission. And what is the name of it? So here the Mars mission is the keyword. Fine. And what is the name of it? The name of it is Tianwen 1, or it is also called as Quest for Heavenly Truth. Quest for Heavenly Truth. So China has launched Mars mission, and that is called as Tianwen 1, or Quest for Heavenly Truth, which will and what is the mission? What is the mission? That is the Mars mission. That is definitely, it is a landing on the Mars. And what it will go? It will try to look for the underground water. These are all very important for prelims point of view. It will definitely go ahead with quest for heavenly truth, which will look for underground water. And not only that, it wanted to again make sure that they will try to find out underground water presence, as well as evidence of whether there is any evidence of possible ancient life. Please look at it, the China, how they are trying to go ahead with finding out the evidence, whether there is any evidence of possible ancient life, and whether there is presence of underground water on Mars. And what is that mission? The name of the mission, Tianwen 1, or Quest for Heavenly Truth. And the rocket, this which was what you say launched the mission, the rocket here, what is important is the Mars mission. The rocket is the Long March 5 rocket carrier. It is Long March 5 carrier rocket. The rocket which has been used is Long March 5 carrier rocket, and which has been taken off, which has took off at Hainan Island. This is very important for the prelims point of view, which is south of China's mainland. What is important, which place the rocket or the spacecraft has what do you say taken off? Hainan Island. Hainan Island. So these are all very important for prelims. And then Sridevi Ariga joined. Very good morning to you, Sridevi. And then Kaveshri Kanne has also joined. Very good morning to you. Information in the sense, or is it the blur? Is it blur in regards to the okay, I think little blur. Oh, okay, later on you can see it. Later on in the recorded one, you can also go through it. So Mars mission is very important. The rocket is Long March carrier rocket. From which place it has taken off? Hainan Island. And it will have, the spacecraft will have both orbiter and rover. Please do understand. So here, if you look at the spacecraft, it is, you have a rocket. I mean, through rocket it has been taken off. Fine. You have a orbiter in that. You have a rover in it. So orbiter is the one which orbits, which actually it orbits around the moon. First it will orbit around the earth, and then it will have that escape velocity. It will, I mean, that rocket or the orbiter will be the orbiter will be provided the escape velocity 11.7. Once you give this 11.7 thrust, then that will be escape velocity. Once it's escape the earth orbit, it will enter into the moon's orbit. So this orbit will be the one which will be orbiting the moon, and once it enters into the moon's atmosphere, so what will be on the surface of the moon is rover. So rocket is one, the rocket is long march carrier rocket, orbiter you have, the rover you have. This is very very important. And we have seen last week, now it is China, but last week it was UAE which has also gone ahead with the Mars mission, and the rocket was launched from Japan. Rocket was launched from Japan, and now so it is China now. I mean earlier it was US, sorry, it was UAE, and even US is also going ahead with launching a Mars mission which is called as Perseverance from Cape Canaveral. From Cape Canaveral, it is again going ahead with launching a sophisticated Mars rover. India has also gone ahead, but we could not, what do you say, land the rover. Soft landing. India has gone ahead with, but soft landing, but still, while it was landing, soft landing was not successful. It was unsuccessful in regards to the India's Mars mission. Fine. So if you look at China now, UAE has, what do you say, launched, has blasted off from Japan, and then US is also going ahead, and the name of it is the sophisticated Mars rover is the Perseverance from the Cape Canaveral. Fine. And China has now, if you look at China now 2020, now it has gone ahead with the Mars mission, but prior it was also gone ahead, it has attempted the Mars mission in 2011, but it was a failed one. It was China plus Russian mission, but it was a failed because it failed to get out of the Earth orbit. Why I said is because please to understand, first is Earth, fine. So this is Earth. So you have this orbit. So it will be revolving around the Earth orbit, and once it is given, the velocity is increased, that is escape velocity. Once then it will move away from the Earth orbit. Once it moves away from the Earth orbit, then what will happen is it will definitely go and enter into the Mars. Here in this case Mars. In regards to India, it was moon. So it will get into the Mars orbit, and then it will go ahead with orbiting the Mars, and then again slowly it will enter into the atmosphere of the Mars. So this is what. So what has happened here is the spacecraft has failed to get out of the Earth's orbit. So the escape velocity, that is what I was talking about. The escape velocity when it will be maintained. So that has been failed. That it could not move out of the Earth's orbit. That escape velocity, which was not really, what do you say, there was a failure in it, and it was launched from Kazakhstan, and eventually it has burnt in the atmosphere itself. And US, if you look at the other news is for prelims, US has successfully landed the Mars onto the Mars soil 8 times since 1976. This is very important for prelims point of view. 8 times on the Mars, 8 times successfully landed since 1976. And this is the rover what the China is now. This is the rover which will row in the sense it will move on the surface of the Mars, on the surface of the Mars. That is what it is, Mars mission. So you have the question for the day for the mains examination, which is again, the US China tensions are no longer about trade. So today we would be in regards to the US China. US China, what is happening? So the US China tensions are no longer about trade and technology. That is, it is beyond the tensions between US and China. Not, we are not talking about India and China. The tensions between US and China are no longer about trade and technology. What started as a trade war between US and China has snowballed into a larger geopolitical contest. Please do understand. It is a larger geopolitical contest between the two superpowers. Now, who are the two superpowers now? At this situation, the tensions between US and China. The two superpowers are US and China, and it is the new Cold War era. It is the new Cold War era. The US China crisis is unfolding at a time when Beijing is also acting more assertively in Asia, picking fights with countries in its neighborhood from India, Vietnam, and Malaysia. So, what is very important here is that you need to write an answer that the tension which has started between US and China in regards to the trade and technology, between trade and technology, has now snowballed into a geopolitical contest between the two superpowers. And between, now what is important is the context of geopolitical contest between the US and China. In between US and China, how India, how India will actually how India will actually make sure that it will balance itself, it will balance, or it will go ahead with its bilateral or diplomatic bilateral ties or diplomatic relations between India and China or India and USA. So we need to balance this. This is very, very important. And at this situation, how it would impact, that is the US China tensions, how it would impact on India's bilateral relations or bilateral ties or diplomatic relations with China or else with USA or with USA. That is what you need to discuss. I read once again. The US China tensions are no longer about trade and technology. It started as a trade war but snowballed into a larger geopolitical contest between the two superpowers, and this is the new Cold War, new Cold War era, new Cold War era between US and China. And during the Cold War era, it was US and Soviet Union. It was US and Soviet Union during Cold War era. But now during the new Cold War era, it is US and China. It is US and China. The US China crisis is unfolding at a time when Beijing is also acting more assertively in Asia, picking fights with countries in its neighborhood from India to Vietnam and Malaysia, and discuss about the bilateral ties or the diplomatic relations, how India would balance with China as well as USA. So that is the question. That is the question. So it is the US-China tension, and it is leading to a geopolitical contest between the two superpowers, and then US-China crisis, how it is going aggressively or assertively in Asia, in its neighborhood, that is India, Vietnam and Malaysia discussed. And what we have recap, we will just recap. we have looked at the Rajasthan, that is Supreme Court's verdict here, that is in regards to the polity, which is important for prelims point of view. And then women officers, this from SSC to PC, and this is especially focusing on mains, that is gender equality. And then this is again in regards to the India China bilateral relations, or in regards to the tensions or disengagement and de-escalation between the LAC between both India and China. And then most intense surveillance again in regards to the internal security for prelims point of view, current affairs. And this again in regards to the parliamentary standing committees, polity point of view for prelims. And China, this is again in regards to the science and technology for prelims point of view. So we have covered from various, from polity, and then in regards to the social issues, that is gender equality, women empowerment, and also in regards to the internal security, polity, and science and technology. So this is a recap of what we have done for today. And I would say thank you and goodbye and good luck. Thank you, goodbye and good luck. And then see you tomorrow again at 7:30 a.m. Fine. You please do like the video, share the video of the AKS IAS Academy's daily newspaper analysis, and do visit aksis.com website, and then Telegram link of, please do a Telegram link of AKS Academy, and my personal Sandeep Bhushan, t.me/Sandeep Bhushan SBT and t.me/aks.is are both from AKS, and mine, that is personal. And I would say please do maintain consistency in your preparation, maintain or stick to your schedule, and then take care of your personal health and mental health. So very, very important. Please do take care, and then see you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Gopinayak says China and Pak were together fine, and Pak was well relate with USA. How will F USA to China? What is this? Is it a spelling mistake? Okay, belief. Okay. China and Pak were together fine, and Pak was well related with USA. Okay, how will we believe USA to China? Okay, so that is what I said. How will we balance the bilateral relations and the diplomatic bilateral ties and diplomatic relations with China or with USA? Both. That is what is important. And India's foreign policy is always dynamic. India's foreign policy is always dynamic. As I said, India's foreign policy is always dynamic. Dynamic in the sense it keeps on changing, and India's foreign policy is based on national interest. Based on national interest. So only based on the national interest or India's foreign policy, that is the bilateral ties or diplomatic relations will take place. So definitely it is not permanent. It keeps on changing. It keeps on changing. So I think Gopinath, you have understood it. It keeps on changing. Not only USA to Pak, it keeps on changing. Fine. So thank you, and then see you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. And I would thank you all. Thank you all.